Hey everyone, I am here with Lauren Cohen. Hey Lauren, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Great. So Lauren is a not only a real estate agent, but also a lawyer, and you work mainly and focus on international investors. So I
Yes,
thought it
ma'am.
would be really cool because on this page we've been talking about working not only with international investors here in the US, but what would it be like for our clients that are investors that can't find anything to invest outside of the US?
hmm
So can you share some insights with us?
So I deal more with inbound to the US, but I
Okay.
have worked with many, and I'm currently working with many clients that do invest from the US and Canada
Hmm.
internationally. And obviously, investing in Canada for US residents is international investing, although people
Right.
don't necessarily look at it that way.
It
For
doesn't
me, it's
seem
kind
like
of
it is.
like yesterday, I was talking with my brother and my mom about my mom making an investment. I was like, I'll participate, but the problem in the GTA, the Greater Toronto Area, is that when you make an investment, first of all, the prices are out of control
So
and
high.
so high, and you have to pay this thing called land transfer tax. And the land transfer tax in the GTA is it's as much as a house in Ohio, a
Are
whole
you
house. I'm
serious?
not kidding. It's insane. So when you're expanding or expanding your business or expanding your investments or developing your portfolio across borders, it's really important to understand where you're investing,
Mhm.
because you don't want to just say, oh, I want to invest in Honduras or Spain or Mexico or
Right.
wherever, when you have no idea what the rules are there. And
Right.
people do this all the time. And Canadians investing in the US also do this all the time. They fail to set up the proper structure, and they don't understand that that could implicate them tax wise. And
Right.
taxes are a big deal. A big
Right.
deal. I mean, why are
Yeah,
you bothering
everywhere.
to invest? Pardon?
And they're a big deal everywhere.
They're a big deal everywhere. And
Yeah.
why bother to invest if you're going to give all of your income to the tax authorities? That's kind of pointless, right?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah, and it goes both ways. It goes both in terms of internal, inbound and outbound.
Hmm.
So I actually have worked with a couple of EXPers that have been investing in other countries, not only the countries in which EXP exists, but in other
Hmm.
countries into which we are hoping to expand and will be expanding. And
Nice.
so some of my common countries are Mexico, Belize, Honduras, a lot of South America. Brazil
Yeah.
is becoming really popular right now because the exchange rate is very favorable for Americans. And even though it's a third world a country, the economy is strong and
Right.
you get a good opportunity. But it's really important, no matter what you're doing or where you're investing, that you set up the right structure.
Right,
Because
for
right
sure.
now we realize that the world is small and we need options, and we don't want to put everything in one basket. But
Hmm.
when looking at those options, you want to make sure that you cover your butt while you're doing that,
Yeah, I would
or help your
say,
clients do
yeah,
that.
that's true. I mean, I get calls from like definitely Canadians that are looking to buy here in Ohio, but also like a lot
Many.
of Chinese and Israeli people that are looking to invest too. What are like some of the things, if we get these calls from international investors, what are some of the things that we need to be asking them?
Well, it so happens that I have a gift that I created because I'm asked this question quite often by fellow
Hmm.
realtors. What
Hmm.
questions do you ask foreign nationals? What questions do you have to consider
Like, what
when
do you
you're
want to need
dealing
to
with a
know?
foreign
Yeah,
national? Right. What are the
right.
need to know? So we'll share that in the chat or in the notes. But
Okay.
there is a download available on my real estate across border site. So if you don't have access to the chat or you can't see it, just go to realestateacrossborders.com/top 10 questions. And you'll find this download that specifically was designed for realtors, although it's also applicable to your clients. But the truth is that when we're dealing with these foreign nationals, we want to be really careful not to overstep the boundaries. And depending on
Hmm.
which state you're in, like in Florida, you have a lot more leeway. The realtors have a lot more leeway to prepare legal contracts than in, let's say, California or New York. So
Right.
you have to also be careful that you're not overstepping that boundary and
Hmm.
engaging in unlicensed practice of law, which is never a good idea.
It's definitely
So
not a good
never a good
idea.
idea. And just, rely on the experts, because that's why we're here.
Yeah.
And being with EXP, a lot of people are constantly asking me questions about this country and that country, thinking I work for the company, as we've talked about
Right.
before. and then they get frustrated when I don't have the answers for them because I don't work for the company. But
Right.
it's really interesting. So there's just a lot of considerations, and the most
Mhm.
important thing to do is don't try to do what you don't know how to do. Make
Right,
sure
like
that you
reach
bring in
out.
the right,
Yeah.
bring in the team,
I have noticed that some of my clients are like here already and they're working and stuff, but the loan process has been like pretty difficult. Is there like investors that you work, like does that work?
So it so happens
Mm-hmm.
that I have a partner from Israel, actually,
Mm-hmm.
that I met through LinkedIn through a Canadian colleague who works for the company.
Oh
And
my
this
God, that's
company,
so convoluted. Like,
that's my life. I'm the UN of whatever. That's
right.
why they named me the chair of international investments for EXP Commercial, because I'm all about international. So
Yeah.
anyway, they developed a product, and you didn't know this, just saying. Jen didn't know this
I
when we
did not
started.
know
So
this.
she's like, oh, I didn't know you're going to have an answer.
Yeah.
So they developed a product. It's for, at the moment, it's for specifically for Canadian and Israeli investors into the US so far.
Okay.
It will be for many more foreign nationals, but so
Okay.
far, those are the two countries. And Ohio is actually coming, I think it's already on board. Michigan's coming on board this week. Many states, Florida is definitely on board. And what it is it's a product, a loan product specifically for foreign nationals that are investing in the US in up to 4-unit investments. So up to
Okay.
a quadplex. So not as soon as it becomes commercial and goes to 5 or more units, they're not covering it yet.
Got
But the
it.
beauty of it is that it's a simple process. It really specifically allows foreign nationals to access funding. At the
Okay.
moment, up to 300,000. It will go
Mhm.
up to 400,000 soon. That's a great amount of capital to have available if you're investing in Ohio, for example, where the
Yeah, I was gonna
prices
say
are
it's not
pretty,
very much in Florida, but certainly
not very much.
Ohio it
Right,
is.
right.
Yeah.
It's all relative. And this
And
product is a beautiful product that we're going to be bringing to the whole EXP team. So it's really
nice.
exciting. But yeah, otherwise it can be very challenging, even setting up a bank account. But what's
Yes.
really important is that you have to set up the right structure, and you don't want to
Yeah.
do this in your individual name. You want to
Right.
do this in the proper corporate structure and make sure that you have everything set up properly. And that's actually the only way you can even qualify for these loans is
Yeah.
through a corporate entity. So too
Okay.
many people don't pay attention to that, or they just run and set up an LLC, and that's not necessarily the right thing to do, especially for Canadians, because they're not treated well tax wise. So speak
Oh.
to professionals.
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, I think at this point, there's like, at least for me, there's like a lot more questions than there are answers. But certainly, like through traveling and definitely like through COVID, people have realized that, like, hey, the world is a lot smaller than we think. And if we can work from anywhere, now we can live anywhere or
Yeah,
invest anywhere. And why not explore some of those things? So I really appreciate you being on. We'll include the link for the download, but what's the website again?
it's realestateacrossborders.com.
Oh, easy. And
And
then,
also the sister website is Immigrate Through Real Estate. So
oh, cool.
yeah,
That's
yeah, it's
awesome.
it's fun. So but I really love to be a resource, and happy to help any realtors with their deals, help them look at their transaction, see if the investor could potentially qualify for a visa. How does that look? Why do they want a visa? Why do they need a visa? What
Okay.
visa is available? And how can we set up the right structure so they're protected when they're making their investments, so they don't have to pay double tax?
That would be awesome. What is the best way to get a hold of you, or what's your preference?
So you can reach me by going, actually, one of my websites is laurenesq.com, which is the same as my personal email, laurenesq@gmail.com.
Okay.
And you can download this, the top 10 questions, and you'll be able to access me as well. And I'm on Facebook and LinkedIn and everywhere that you want to find me. It would be my pleasure to work with you and help you figure out how to close your deals.
Yeah, you're pretty easy to get a hold of. So
I'm
I
pretty
would,
easy to find.
yeah, I would encourage anybody that even has an inkling of interest to connect with you. And you'll have some classes and trainings and different
I
things
will.
coming up too. And we'll talk
Yeah,
about that next time we meet and see what you have going
absolutely.
on.
I will promise you that I'll have a realtor class set up by the next time we meet.
That'd be awesome. I
Yeah, for
appreciate
sure.
you, Lauren.
Of
Thank
course,
you.
Jen. Have a great day. Thanks, everybody. Take care.